The next principle on why do we hear God together is because he likes it. As we listen to God and we come together, Jesus said, where 2 or 3 are gathered, I am there in their midst. He wants us to come together and hear him, and he likes it because it grows our faith and our relationship with others, and it gives us more clarity. Hebrews 11:6 says, and without faith it's impossible to please him. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who seek him. In Hebrews 11, we see a list of people who God spoke to, and they obeyed in detail, and it was called faith. Well, where does faith come from? Romans 10:17 says, so faith comes from hearing, and hearing by the word of Christ. There are so many ways where my life has gotten better because I hear God, because I take time with his people to wait on God, and I get more information, and there's more clarity. And you know what? That has made my life just so much better in so many ways, but actually that's not the reason that I do it. We could just use God like he's some kind of Ouija board or something like that, but we don't want to do that. We don't want to do it just because we get better information. The reason we do it is actually that he's pleased by it. Now, this is something that actually warms the heart of God, that when we come together with one another in unity, in love, and we're seeking him by faith, it actually is something that he gets joy out of. That's actually why we do it. It has nothing to do with us. So even as we come before him, we might think, man, this is going to help my family, my ministry, all these different things. I want you to know we don't want to do this because we want to use God. We want to do this because he's worthy of our whole life and everything we have. And as you think about those people in Hebrews 11, their life certainly didn't necessarily get better because they heard God and they obeyed. There may be more difficulty. There may be more suffering. There's hardship that's going to come when we obey God. And I want you to know that he's worth it, and that actually the short-term discomfort and suffering we can experience by hearing God and obeying God in detail actually only stores up more treasure for us in heaven and eternity. And so the practical is, I want you to take a minute and ask God, am I willing to go through even more trouble? It's more difficulty to even be able to include other people in my process. And would we do that because it actually pleases God when we seek him as a group?